Yo, what's going on, guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise. Today, of course, is update 3.0. We get the final boss monster to fight. We get Valstrax. We get Apex and Noga. So let me know in the comments down below how you guys are getting on. Let me know what you guys are thinking of it. But in this video, I want to talk specifically about the Valstrax Armor, which not only looks incredibly cool, and let's be honest, looking cool is by far the most important thing in Monster Hunter. This thing looks like it's straight out of Gurren Lagann. I love it, and I'm loving the fact that the crimson aspect to it, the crimson glow, is just even more vibrant than before. This looks incredible. However, looks aside, this is also a very good armor set. There is value both in using it as a complete set, but also some of the individual pieces can also lend some value. So in this video, we're going to go and take a look at the armor and also scan through the weapons. So if you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys are thinking of it so far. Let me know if you've made this already. But to begin with, this of course is what it looks like. Again, looking incredibly awesome. I'm also rocking the sword and shield here because of course that was the first weapon that I crafted. But if you take a look at the skills, you will see there are 4 skills here. The first one is Dragon Heart, which I'll speak about in a moment. We then have the rather familiar Weakness Exploit level 3, and the skill distribution for this one is actually quite handy, which you'll see in a moment. So level 3, of course, giving you that 50% increased affinity while striking weak spots, which is kind of handy. Of course, the Valstrax weapons by default have 0% affinity, but having level 3 baked into the armor set is quite nice. And you then have level 3 Resuscitate, which increases your attack power when you are suffering from an abnormal status, which synergizes incredibly nicely with Dragonheart. Plus you have Resentment, which also further increases your attack when you have recoverable damage, i.e. the red portion on your health gauge. This by default is level 3, giving you plus 15 attack, but you can of course push that up to level 5 for the plus 25 attack in total. And of course, given the slots in this armor, that would be possible. But if you then turn your attention to Dragonheart, now if you have the full armor set, of course that is maxed out, Dragonheart level 5. But basically what this does is that when you are at a certain health threshold, i.e. you've lost a certain amount of health, it basically gives you Dragon Blight, and in the process of doing that, it increases all of your elemental resistances. Initially, level 1 and 2 will boost that up to 30 and 50 respectively. You then go to level 3, whereby the threshold to proc Dragon Blight is higher, only needing 70% of your health. Then if you go up to level 4, not only do you get the elemental resistances at the 70% health threshold, plus you also get a 5% attack boost. And then finally for level 5, if you go all the way, you get the Dragon Blight proc at 80% health, so it is incredibly easy to activate. You only need to take a little bit of damage. Plus, you also get the 50 elemental resistances and you get the 10% attack power. You can see the demonstration in the background. You can, of course, see starting off, this is what the armor set looks like by default. And, of course, then once you drop below the 80%, because this is the full armor set, you then have the increased damage. And, of course, if you factor in Resentment on here as well, you are getting that extra damage boost because of the red portion of the health. And then when that heals, you just go back down to the base. But the main thing is by having Dragon Blight on this, you then do of course have, you're able to take advantage of Resuscitate. So by this, ideally you want to sort of fight at, slightly below full health to get the most out of this. So already that is very nice. But if we take a look at the individual pieces, the helmet has a level 2 slot and a level 1 slot. The chest has a level 3 slot and a level 1 slot. The gloves have a level 2 slot, the waist has a level 2 slot, and the legs have a level 3 slot and a level 1 slot. And on the skill distribution front, the helmet has Dragonheart level 1, Weakness Exploit level 1. The chest, again, another point in Dragonheart with 2 points in Resuscitate. The gloves giving you Dragonheart and 2 points in Weakness Exploit, making these a very nice choice. Of course, previously if you wanted 2 points in Weakness Exploit easily, you would lean towards the Scalder Waist. Meanwhile, this now gives you those 2 points, plus you have the level 2 slot, which is very nice. Of course, on top of that, you have the waist, which is a point in Resuscitate, 2 points in Resentment, and the legs, probably the weakest ones, being the point in Resentment. And it's kind of handy because if they are the weakest ones, they also need the orb. So if you don't happen to be getting lucky with that, you can probably ignore this. So slot-wise, definitely very good. Of course, if you really want to lean into the Resuscitate side of stuff, you could then get a charm and of course slot in some stuff to maybe throw in things like Bubbly Dance or even say Hellfire to kind of give you additional means of getting, say, different blights. But overall, it is definitely a nice setup. And as for the weapons, these have always been pretty interesting on the Valstrax front. They are basically a big chunk of red sharpness followed by white sharpness. There is no yellow, green or blue in between. It is straight red to white, but they do have a very generous chunk of white sharpness on the base version. And then of course, once you upgrade it, The red gets smaller, the white gets bigger. Generally speaking, they have decent raw, not the highest raw, but decent raw, and they have a nice amount of dragon attack. Again, they do have 0% affinity, but if you did run that with the default set, you already have 50% on weakness exploit, and of course you can very easily gem in things like critical eye to boost that up even further. Of course, if you then jump over to the rampage skills, you have attack boost, wyvern exploit, but you also have Valstrax Soul, which for this one increases dragon element attack by 20%, when inflicted by a dragon blight. So again, this all synergizes very nicely with that armor skill. So obviously if you are in a position where dragon blight is active, you're then going to be able to boost up your dragon attack even further. So all up, it's just some quite nice synergy. But overall, that is basically how the weapons work. I'm going to leave them scrolling in the background just so you can sort of see what they look like in the smithy. But for the time being, that is pretty much it. So let me know down below what you guys have crafted. And of course, keep it locked for plenty more. If you want to catch more from us at Arekkz Gaming, don't forget you can catch the guys 269 and Paradise Central streaming over on Twitch weekdays, playing a variety of games. If you guys want to jump in, tune in, watch, and even join in, then make sure you check them out. The links to those are in the description box down below. And of course, you can join the Discord to get involved in all of the discussions.